today out in the field, they're baling hay. As you can see right over behind that boat right there, there's the first roll that they just dropped off. See that big roll of hay? And back over there in the field, way back in the other side, you can see another one. It's a big ass roll of hay back there. There's another one back there. And that is how they roll up and bale hay. These are chickens. But anyway, today is tomato planting, perfect tomato plant, episode 2. And what we're going to do today is show you, we're going to continue on and pick up where we left off at, planting the perfect tomato. Alright, now we've already dug the hole, planted the tomato, put the lime in the bottom of the hole to prevent the blossom rot. Now what we're going to do is rake out, I've killed the garden as you can see. So we're just going to do a couple of these plants to give you an example of what we're going to do now. This is the next step. We're not going to do them all, but we'll make a video later after we get them all done. What I want to do is rake out a flat spot around my tomato plant. It's important to make sure that none of the limbs at this point is touching the ground, because that's a good way to get disease and stuff in your plant. So I'm just gonna, we're just gonna do, let's say we're gonna do 3 of them, 3 today. So now the first thing I'll do is I'm gonna smooth out a nice flat spot around my tomatoes. These tomatoes have been in the ground for about a little over a week now. So they've got a little bit of established. And a flat out piece of spot right there around a couple of tomatoes. Now this is the next step. What we're going to do now is we collect newspapers. Most people have heard that you put your newspaper around the base of your tomato plant, right? And it keeps the moisture down and the weeds down low. It's a cheap way, and it's an alternative. You don't need landscaping fabric that you're going to pay a whole bunch of money for. It's going to get all caught up in your rototiller the next year. Newspaper is biodegradable. It'll last out the whole entire growing season, and then it'll deteriorate and it'll till into the ground and make dirt at the end of the year. Well, a lot of people make a mistake is they try to put it dry like this around the plant. The best way to do it is have a bucket of water. Dump your newspaper in the water like this. Get it nice and wet. Okay? So we're gonna come over here to our plant. We're just gonna put a little bit of newspaper on each side. Some newspaper. One side of the plant and on 2 sides of the plant. I'm going to repeat this. Newspaper. It's going to tear up a little bit, but that don't matter as long as you get it around there. We're just going to put them around the base of the plants like that. We got 46 of these to do, so we're not gonna have them all on this video. Just gonna do a couple of them to show you how it's done. Now that we've got the newspaper down around the plant, the second step is we're going to put grass clippings. And that's going to hold moisture down around the bottom of the plant and provide nutrients for the plant. You know, we don't want to get grass clippings that's got weeds in it, that's done went to seed, or grass that's done went to seed that's going to cause anything to grow around the plant. So what I do is I ride around and I look and I see a landscaper out cutting a nice manicured lawn, a really nice lawn. And I know it's nothing but pure grass clippings, and that's what I want to look for. So here, we got some nice fresh grass clipping sitting in the bag. It's steaming hot. Look at that. Grab some of this. Just gonna shuffle it around the base of the plant. That's gonna help hold your newspaper down too. It's just hot as a bitch. Sitting in that bag like that, this one got hot. Yeah. Real hot. All right, so now that we got grass around the bottom of our plants, we're gonna set our cages on top. I'm gonna put the cage right in the very center of the plant and push it down into the ground. Like that. And I put my rebar all on the same side because when I go back down the line here to go hammering them down, I don't want to have to hammer this side and then walk to this side of the plant, back and forth all around the plant, plus it looks better. Right in the center of the plant, your foot down, wobble it back and forth, plant the cage. Now, since we got to that point, we're gonna get a mallet, beat the rebar down. The purpose of the piece of rebar is so that when the tomatoes grow up into the cage and the wind comes in a storm or whatever across that field, it's not gonna knock the plant over. So what I do is hammer my rebar down. And I know where my rebar is going to be at because I count the rows in the cage. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and right up before the third one is where we're going to stop at. And each one of these pieces of rebar is 3 feet long. So we're actually putting about a foot of it, a little over a foot of this foot rebar in the ground. So now, let's go back over the steps. You're going to dig a hole, pluck all the low-lying branches off the tomato plant, bury the tomato plant in the ground as deep as you can, put a couple lime in the hole to prevent blossom rot. You're going to wait 2 weeks. You're going to put wet newspaper down around the base of the plant. Then you're going to put grass clippings down around the bottom of the plant. Then you're going to put your cage. This cage is made out of concrete wire. Comes in a roll, and you can get about 30 cages out of a roll. What we do is we snip it with a pair of bolt cutters off the length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So on every 10th one, we cut a piece off the roll, roll it around, and take a pair of channel lock pliers and bend these around so that it locks it together. Now at this point, there's nothing else we can do to these plants but wait about another 2 weeks, and then we're going to feed it some organic time-release fertilizer. The kind I use is called Marine Cuisine. It's got earthworm casings in it and ground up shellfish, a lot of organic compost. And we're going to wait a couple of weeks before we feed them because they're actually going to get nutrients from this grass. So there you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them to this point. Only 42 more to go. 42 more plants to go. And judging by the heat that's out here, around 90 degrees right now, we'll probably be doing a couple of them, cool off a couple here and there. Once I get them all put in, then I'm gonna come back down these roads this way, and I'm gonna run my rototiller that I got right there. Just rebuilt the carburetor on the rototiller. Just finished that today, so that's running. And after we get all these tomatoes and stuff straight, then we'll go ahead and till our rows of corn, till our tomato, our carrot row, and our onion row, and around all of our zucchinis and squash and everything like that. And then later on in the evening, we're going to take this one bare spot that we got over in the edge of the garden. We're going to plant some blue bush beans. And then at that point, the garden will be complete. There's nothing to do at that point but feed it, till it, and get it ready. Watch this dude over here pick his piece out, this bale of hay up with this fucking forklift. Now watch this shit. This is a bad motherfucker right here. Zoom him up, Chris. Zoom him up a little bit. See this shit? This hay right here is going to go feed cows and horses and stuff. Usually they don't take it that quick. They leave it set out in the field for a little while. For some reason he's picking up his rolls of hay before he even finishes rolling the damn hay. Maybe they just need a couple of rolls right now because the animals is hungry. Anyway, that's the end of this episode of Gardening and the Perfect Tomato. Subscribe to my channel and make sure you see the next informative video as we will track the progress of these tomato plants all the way up in time. It's time to make us a nice big fat ass tomato sandwich with some douche mayonnaise. Have a good day. Subscribe to the channel.